Welcome my dear friends to the course of Comprehensive Financial Modeling. We have seen in our first video that Excel is the prerequisite for doing financial modeling. So today we will start with the basic functions of Excel. We will first get introduced to Excel. What we are seeing on our screen is a spreadsheet. Now when you click on any cell in a spreadsheet, you see that a column and a row gets highlighted. Basically, a spreadsheet is classified or divided into columns and rows. The columns are A, B, C, D and so on, and the rows are counted as 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and the cell that you click will be named or will be read as the column name and cell number, row number. So here when we click here, we can see that it is read as D7, means column D and row 7. When we put any number into this cell, say for example 123, we see that it immediately gets right aligned because Excel understands the language of numbers. So any number that you put will get right aligned. But if you try to type the letters or words into it, it will get left aligned. Why? Because Excel does not understand the language of words, characters or letters. Now let us try to check it with the help of formula. If we try to make a sum of 1000 plus R, it will show an error to us. Let us see it. See now, 1000 plus R, it shows an error. So put only the words, but if figures not put correctly, Excel won't understand it. Let us see an example. For example, 1000 has 1, then 1 comma and 3 zeros. Excel understands it. If I press enter here, you can see a comma being shown here, but in the formula bar you can see no comma. Means Excel is understanding this and it gets right aligned. But now if I put this number into as 1, 0, 0, see, left aligned, and in the formula bar also you can see the commas. Means Excel is not understanding this. And even now if you try to put or use this into the formula, it will show an error. Now if I don't know how to put the commas, how do I use it? You can simply put the number whatever you want to. In the home column, in the menu bar, you can see there is comma style. If you press this, you can see this number now includes commas, but in the formula bar if you see, it shows no comma and the number is right aligned. Now here it is with 2 decimal points, but it means that Excel is understanding it. Now if you want to remove these decimal points, just next to the comma style, you can see increase decimals and decrease decimals. Now here we want to decrease it, so you simply have to press the button number of times you want to decrease the decimals, or if you want to increase the decimals, you can simply have to press the increase decimal number or the button number of times you want to increase the buttons. We remove it here and we can see the figure of rupees 1 lakh being separated with suitable commas. Now if I want to put this into the currency form or back to number form and don't want commas, I simply have to go to this drop down. Here I see number. I choose the number form, and here I see the commas being removed, but again it puts into the decimal because my basic cell formatting, this format cells, is being by default put to 2 decimal points. If I make it 0 or if I want 4 decimals, I can change it as I want under the number drop down. I'll keep it at the default level here with 2, and wherever I want I can use this decrease decimal number and reduce the decimals that are there. Now if I want to put this figure or the number into the currency format, there is a column, or you can say there's a button for this. Here you can see it is showing us dollars. So if I press here, this will be shown into dollars. I don't want dollars. If I press this dollar button, I get a drop down. I want rupees, I convert it into rupees, decrease decimals, and I get rupees 1 lakh. I want to remove this rupees again and convert this into a simple number. Again go to drop down, select number, and I get my original format. If I want some number to be expressed in terms of percentage, now if I say percentage, when I write 0.25, actually it means 25%. But now when I write 0.25 and want to express in terms of percentage, there's a button next to comma style as percentage style. I simply have to press that button and it will convert my number into percentage. But if I write 25 and then convert it into percentage, it will show 2500 percentage. Why? Because the percentage column is what? Or the basic mathematical formula for percentage is multiplied by 100. So it multiplies the figure that you have chosen with 100 and adds the percentage sign to it to represent that it is a percentage. So these are the basic functions. So moving ahead, now if you want to do some mathematical calculations into Excel, we all know Excel basically is a tool for mathematical calculation and analysis. So if you want to do that, now say for example I want to add 123 to 1000. Press enter. It doesn't give me any answer. Why? Because I have not put Excel into calculation mode. How do I do that? You can simply add a plus button or equal to button to put Excel into a calculation mode. Check now. It gives me the answer for the mathematical calculation that I want to perform. So for putting Excel into calculation mode, you have to add any formula with equal to sign. And now if you want to change your formula or figures, you have to click on the cell in which you have done the mathematical function. Now in D19, if you see, we have done. The formula bar shows me the formula that I have performed, or if you double click on the cell in which you have performed the function, it will show me the formula, or the shortcut to it is F2 button in your laptop, or in some cases function F2 button in your laptop will show you the formula. So if you want to change it, you can change it by double clicking it, go to formula bar or F2, do the changes and done. But remember, do not forget to put equal to sign before it. So this is how mathematical functions are performed into Excel. But we all know mathematical functions are based on the BODMAS rule. What is BODMAS? We all know: bracket, order, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So how in Excel? If we start with bracket, there are three types of bracket: box, curly and curve. The first bracket, that is a box bracket, is mainly used in data analysis expression that is called as a DAX language, and it is mainly used into Power Query or Power Pivot functions into Excel. So it is not used into normal functions into Excel. Curly functions, curly bracket is used for array functions, and whenever you are performing any array functions into Excel, it automatically gets added. You need not add it on your own. So you are not even going to use this. The only left for us is curve bracket, and that is the one we are going to always use for our calculations into Excel. The next character into BODMAS is O. O stands for order. Order means, say if I want to find out how much is 2 raised to 2, how to write that into Excel. 2, then shift and 6 button, that is power of, it stands for power of 2. Now this is not giving me any answer. Why? Because I have not put Excel into calculation mode, so I need to add Excel button, equal to button into it. It gives me an answer. Check formula and the answer. The rest of the rules into BODMAS application: division, multiplication, addition and subtraction are present into Excel as the signs. You can see here division stands for multiplication, addition and subtraction. You can use them as it is directly. Now how this works in Excel, if I want to see through an example. We'll take one example. You want rupees 25,000 at the end of 5th year. You want to secure an FD in a bank which shall give this amount at the end of 5th year. Bank gives rate of interest at 10%. How much you should invest now? Now, with the help of compound interest formula, basic compound interest formula is what? A is equal to P into 1 plus R power of N, where R stands for rate of interest, N stands for number of years, and P stands for principal amount. We just change the sides of this formula. We get P, that is principal, as equal to A, that is amount at the end of the period that you are going to get, R, rate of interest, that is given as 10%, and N, that is number of years. So we'll try to calculate P here. First put the Excel into calculation mode. Then A is given to us as 25,000 divided by, into bracket, 1 plus R. R is what? 10%. Now percent you can get as shift 5 key. Rest to N, power of N, power of shift 6, and N here is 5. I get the amount as 15,523. If you want to check it, recheck it or cross check it, you can check it as by putting the things into this formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus R S to N. We simply do it as is equal to 15,523. Sorry, we are supposed to calculate, yeah, A, this formula. So simply do it as 15,523 into bracket 1 plus 10% again, bracket complete, power of N. Sorry, I forgot to put multiplication sign, and now here you see you get the answer as 25,000, which was the expected answer. So our answer is correct. Now but here if I want to change this 10% interest, the interest goes down from 10% to 9%. What do I do? Do the entire calculation again? No. So you need to use soft coding for that. What is soft coding? And the opposite of it is hard coding. What you have done here is called as hard coding, where you put in the numbers into the mathematical functions. But instead, if I simply note down all the assumptions given to me, for example, A is given to me, that is 25,000. N is given to me as 5 years. R is given to me as 10%. And I want to calculate P. Now I put these things into the formula, same formula, A divided by 1 plus R is 2N, but not using the numbers, but by using cells referencing. What is cells referencing? You simply have to choose the cell that you want to put into the formula. Now here I have to start with A. Now here A is 25,000 denoted into B68. So I simply I put my mouse on that cell and click on it. B68 gets selected. Then the mathematical function that I want to use divided by. Then 1 plus R. Now R is given into B70. So I again move my mouse into B70 cell, click on that, bracket complete, again a mathematical function, press 2, and then N is given in B69, go there, check it, and you get the same answer. Now how this is more useful than what we have done if the answer is same. Now if I want to change the rate from 10 to 9%, my answer changes automatically. I need not redo the entire calculation. This is how cells referencing is used into Excel, and it is a base for financial modeling because we don't want to waste our time into redoing the mathematical functions. So whenever you are doing any formula or you are doing any mathematical calculations into Excel, use cells referencing instead of doing the hard coding. Friends, just now we saw how referencing is used in Excel, but basically there are two types of referencing: absolute referencing and relative referencing. Now what are these two? Let us try to understand it with an example. Say there is a series of numbers that I have, which I want to add into another series of numbers. Any random numbers I am taking. I want the sum of these two numbers, column wise. So simply put the sum function it gives me the sum of G68 cell and G69 cell. Now if I click on this cell G71 I am talking about, wherein I perform the function with the help of formula, and I drag it for the remaining rows for which I want the answer, it directly gives me the answer. This is relative referencing. What is absolute referencing? In the previous example of securing an FD into a bank, we saw that the rate of interest in the case was 9% or 10%. We changed it to 9% later on. Now if I want to know the principal value required, if the rate of interest is 10%, 11%, 12% in all the cases, what do I do? Can I do the same relative referencing? If I simply drag it, no, it is not giving me an answer. In this case, we will be requiring absolute referencing, because in this case we don't want our A to change, we don't want our N to change, but we want our R to change only. So when we have put the formula, we'll have to freeze these two, means we don't want to change them, that is called as freezing. Now A is given into B68 cell. So in the formula if you see B68, Click on B68 either before, after or in between. Simply press F4 button. It freezes the entire cell. That is B68 that we want to be freezed. Then this B70 is for rate of interest. We don't want it to be freezed, we want to change it. We want to freeze N, that is B69. So take the cursor on B69 and again press F4. You will see a dollar sign before and after the column, that is B in this case. It means it has freezed the entire cell. Press enter. There is no change in the answer, but now if I drag it downwards in the same direction in which you want the answer, or you want the variable to be changed, now you can see the changed answer, and even if you cross check it, you will get the same answers. Just with the drag you can change it, and you can see the formula as well. The formula should be P is equal to A, that is B68, divided by 1 plus R, that is 71, 72, 73 as the case may be, and power of N, B69. So if you see all these three, only B, instead of B70 the things are changing to B71, B72 and B73. Rest are remaining same. This is called as relative referencing, or actually it is a mixed example of relative and absolute referencing. Now both these referencing functions are of a lot of use in financial modeling. Now when you want to freeze a particular cell, we can see dollar sign before and after the column name. If you only want to freeze the column, you have to have dollar only before the cell, like this. And if you want to only freeze the row, you have to have dollar column after. Now here if I do that, that will happen, but it will change my answer, so we are not doing it, I am just showing you. So this is how the column and the row can be freezed separately. But if you want to freeze the entire cell, then you have to have dollar column before and after the column name. That freezes the entire cell that you want. After that definitely the row number will come, but this is how it is done. And now you must have seen that when I was writing it here, I was using apostrophe here. What does this do? It does not convert what I am writing into the formula. It keeps the things as text. So whatever I write, say 100 if I write, it is coming to the left side, means Excel is not considering it as a number but as a text. By using apostrophe you can do that. So friends, I hope you have understood the basic formatting functions of Excel. In our next video we will start with few basic functions of Excel